Hey guys, haven't made a video for a while, so I wanted to show you the rest of the power brush series here. So the first set of clips here I took a while ago, probably a month and a half ago, and I haven't had time to touch it since then until just yesterday, so hope you enjoy. Alright, so a lot of guys have been asking me about how I'm going to fix the power broom shaft, and I want to show you guys what I did. I went on McMaster Car's website and I found a bunch of parts, I think, that are going to fix it for me. So what I've learned is that the original shaft from Gravely that goes through the broom, the long 4-foot long square shaft, cost $250, and I'm not really wanting to spend that kind of money right now. So I'm going to try to do a little rig job on my shaft, and basically it looks like it's a square shaft that was turned in the lathe to make two round ends on it. So let me show you what I got here. So this is the McMaster order. I really like that place. I ordered it and the whole pile of stuff came the next day for no extra cost or anything. But I got two of these bearings here that are called flange bearings, which pretty much look identical to the ones that are on the tractor. And then I bought this 3-inch long piece of keyed shaft. And what I'm going to attempt to do is cut the round end off of my square shaft and attach this end to it. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to try it. And then I got, what else did I get? I bought these collars, shaft collars, because I thought I needed them. I really don't. They're built into the bearing already, so I don't need them. I got 100 pack of nylon insert lock nuts, and I bought, you can only buy bolts in lots of 100, so it's more than I need, but these bolts here are 5/8 by 5/16 18, which hold the sides onto the broom. And I also got some carriage bolts. These did not come from McMaster, they came from Amazon, but they're 3/4 inch long carriage bolts, which will be used to hold the new bearings in. And with the shaft, I got a foot long piece of 1/4 inch key stock. The original keyway in the pulley, I'm pretty sure was a 3/16 keyway, and I'm going to file it out to be 1/4 inch because it's already half worn out and everything. So the key here is 1/4 inch on all sides, so it's 1/4 by 1/4. And the shaft that I got here is 1/4 inch wide, 1/8 inch deep. So when you put two 1/8 inches together, you get 1/4. And like I said, the other shaft was 3/16, so, but it's buggered. So I'm going to file it until I can get that key in it, and then maybe we'll be in good shape. So let's go try to do it. All right, so I'm going to try to put this piece of shaft on there. And what I was thinking about doing is drilling a hole, putting this 1/4 inch stud in there, and then welding it around after I get it all centered and lined up properly. All right, so that cut off real nice with the cutoff wheel. And there were some people on the last video that commented and thought that it was a hollow square tube and they shoved these ends in there. I think they're wrong. I think it was a solid tube that they turn on a lathe. So what we're going to do is find the center in both these pieces and drill and tap a 1/4 20 hole in there. And I'm going to work this with a file here, make sure this end is absolutely perfectly square, and then hopefully, just hopefully, we can have a nice squared up joint here. And my hope was that maybe I'll bevel an edge around the bottom here, and we'll try to put a bead of weld around the outside after we put this little stud here in. So see what we can figure out. Both the holes drilled here, I'm gonna try to tap them and we'll see what happens. I got the 1/4 tap going in here. This new piece of metal is nice to work with. It's not too hard, so it machined easily and it's tapping good. All right, we got the end threaded in, and I think I need to go deeper with my holes, but or I cut that stud shorter. Very hard to do this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut the stud off and make it a little bit shorter, but it should work. Well, I realized that threading the shaft into the new piece is just not gonna work, so I ended up scrapping it. I couldn't get it to line up properly. No matter what I did, it was just wiggling a hair. It was off a couple degrees, but when you magnify it being off over a 3-inch length, like, it showed up a lot, and it was crucial to having the thing spin true in between the two bearings. So I ended up just getting rid of the threaded part and just basically using some magnetic holders and welding it on there, and it came out pretty darn good. All right, so I think we're ready to reassemble this thing. I got my end welded on here, and it's pretty decent, I think. I think I have to cut the length about a 1/2 inch shorter, but should be good to go. So got all our replacement parts here, are all from McMaster Car. Bearings. Actually, this sprocket I got on Amazon. But let's put it together. Well, guys, we got the sweeper almost all the way back together. The only problem is the chain is too long now. It's got like a half link in it, so I'm cruising down to Tractor Supply to get a number 50 regular master link. Then I can take that half link out and just put in the regular master link, and I think we'll be ready to test it. I did find another problem, which is that the sprocket that's on the gearbox side of the chain is not in the right position. It's backed off about 1/8 of an inch or so, which I think is part of my culprit of it not going on properly. So I'm having to kind of compensate and jack out my new sprocket a hair to compensate for it. The old sprocket is all rusted on, and it's not going to come off too easily, so if I wanted to take it off, I'm probably going to have to cut it off with a cutoff wheel and get a new sprocket. So I just want to get it back together and use it, so I'm just going to kind of compensate for what we got for now, and we could always deal with that at another date. Well, the chain here was a little bit too long. Like I was saying, it has this, like, whatever you call it, offset link in there, so I'm going to use my chain breaker and pop this out. And I just got some regular master links here at Tractor Supply, so that should get me going where we need to be, I think. So let's give it a shot. All right, so this is funny. I go to press the pin out and I realize that there was another master link here. So someone added this thing after the fact, and if I had only noticed that, I wouldn't have had to go to the store and buy a new link. So let's see if we can get that off. All right, so the old master link was shot anyway, so I would have needed a new one. So yeah, that's going to be a lot better here on the chain tension. So let's see if we can get that thing in. Then you still got this block up here that you can use to tension. So let me put this in, and it should be good. One other thing I wanted to mention about my new shaft is that it has a keyed slot keyway and not a half moon keyway. And the pulley or sprocket and the other side both have a 1/4 inch key. So I made a nice little key here. This scuff is because I used the cutoff wheel to zip off the key stock there. So let's put this in and we should be ready to test it out pretty much. Just got to put the outside edge on, we should be good. All right, so this is what we took out, which essentially was 2 links, and we're replacing it with 1 link, so it takes a little slack out of the chain. Let's see what we got here now. So I'm going to grab the input shaft and turn it, and I think, yeah, the brush usually spins. Which way does it spin? Away? Is that right? I can't remember which way it spins. Yeah, it spins down, I think, but you see there's still a little bit of slop in the chain. Here comes that new link here. But I can adjust this little block here to help take out the tension. Chain just rubs that block the whole time it goes. So I kind of like it about right there. I might actually take this block and flip it over because the side that it was riding on has a big groove cut in it. So let's see if we can just spin it and flip it over 180 degrees and put the fresh side against the chain instead of the side with the groove in it. I think that would make more sense. So yeah, cool. Well, we should be ready to go. I just got to put this plate over the end here. So it should be good to go. And just as a point of interest, the plate, it uses, I'm getting all new bolts here, but it's 5/16, and they all use lock nuts. So just got to bolt it on and we should be good to go. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the chain first before I do that. All right, well, it's all back together here. Now I got to see if I can fire up the 18G and we'll hook it up and test it out. All right, so I got my jumper pack here on the 18G, and it hasn't started for probably 3 months. So let me just see here. We'll get the choke on and see if we can get her going. Dude, for real? That's awesome. The thing fires right up, man. Woohoo! Charging system's working good. adjust it, but it's working. Dude, this cab is big for this, I'll tell you that. My neighbor asked me to hit his lawn, so I'm going to hit his too. Position, but there's so much slop in it, it's angled. So I gotta find out how to get that slop out of it. Try not to shoot it back on the grass over there. Back up and kind of hit the thing sideways a little bit. Dude, that 18G is awesome, I'll tell you that. Let's look at this brush again. There's some kind of slop in it, like I was saying. I have it mounted as straight, but look at all this slop that's in that thing. So I'm not sure if it's bent or if the slop is, I think the slop's in this adjustment slot over here. In these notches here, I think. But look how much it moves, and it's in the slot, basically. This is supposed to be straight. And it's more like it's angled, but dude, that thing just works awesome. Oh yeah. Well, the power broom worked great, guys. It worked so good that my neighbor across the street asked me if I could come hit the front of his driveway. I live on a dirt road, so when they plow the road, it kicks all this gravel and all this junk right up on the lawn. So that's what I was doing here. The 18G does have some things that we have to fix on it. So that will have to be in another video, but eventually we're gonna have to take the cab off and we're gonna have to change the oil. It needs a battery. It just needs to be lubed up and stuff. But the big problem has to do with the forward reverse clutch. If you have the thing in high range and you try to go and you're on anything but downhill, it basically the clutch is slipping and it won't work. So the whole time I was using the video here with the broom, I actually had it in low range, 4th gear, and it was working fine. But there are some other issues, like when I had the wheel cut a certain way, the drive shaft was making noise and stuff like that. So it probably just needs to be lubed up. The machine was just used in snow removal, so it's really rusty on the bottom of the frame, like the running boards and all that kind of stuff. So eventually I would like to try to clean up the running boards, maybe repaint them, and everything's gonna have to get lubed up. I'd really like to try to get a mower deck together that I can run on it this summer and actually mow the lawn with it, which would be cool. So we could have the 18G and the 20G be at a little tag team match on the lawn.